Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and as you can see there's already a bit of a smile and a bit of a laughter because we have the absolute pleasure to break down that blockbuster performance that finished Alashkert 0, Rangers 0. And right off the bat, people, you might notice that I am wearing the black and blue top once again after a match versus Alashkert, because obviously if you watched the last reaction video, I wore this because that was the type of game it was. It was a black and blue bruising type of performance that was just a battle. It wasn't a football game, it was just two teams fouling each other air and air again and a non-stop whistling encounter. And 7 days later I'm sitting here wearing the black and blue top again. But is that the reason I'm wearing it? Not, people. The reason I'm wearing it is because genuinely after watching that 96 minutes, I feel like somebody's just honestly put on a glove and just super punched me right into the gonads. Because that right there was a tough watch. But let's start off with the positives then, shall we? Because they are some positives, believe it or not. First of all, we have got the job done. That is the most important thing. Is frustrated and disappointed and a wee bit annoyed about how we performed in the match. The most important thing, was to come away from that game with a clean sheet and putting us through, earning the 12 to 14 million pounds in the moolah that could potentially come from progressing beyond the Europa League. Right, that was the main objective. Objective done. The next objective is we managed to come through the game and give vital experience to the likes of Nathan Patterson and our boy Robby McCrorie, who had a lot of pressure on him right now with Alan McGregor and John McLaughlin currently on the shelves. There was a lot of eyes on Robby McCrorie, and despite it not being a busy afternoon for him when we needed him, he was there, and fair play to him as well. Neither player looked out of place at all, and especially Robby McCrorie. That's brilliant for him, because keeping that clean sheet in his professional debut for Rangers now means, ladies and gentlemen, that both McCrories in the old nets have a 100% clean sheet ratio. And that's all I've really got to take away from that game of football, because that's all that was given back to us. Now again, on paper it does say 0-0 between Rangers and Alashkert, but if you watch the game of football, despite it not being filled with quality and drive and aggression and that ruthless nature that we came to expect under Steven Gerrard's side, maybe the conditions and all that certainly played its part. Was it 42 degrees heat? You heard all that before the game. You can understand it. It was always going to be slightly off, but to me, just how far it fell off during the game just wasn't up to scratch in my opinion. Again, I understand the conditions, understand the heat, and understand that it's play. Fair enough, drop off a little bit, but by God, man, we dropped all the way back. Almost Fred Flintstones took us home to the hotel. But enough talking around the game. Let's actually go ahead and break down the game, because believe it or not, there is important things to discuss, and the chances we created in this game, there was enough to make this a cricket score. But again, we're just so off the boil going forward. It just reared its ugly head again. But going into the game, we saw a very, very strong starting 11 with pretty much everyone we expected to see. Apart from me, I was kind of hoping we'd see Stephen Kelly either at starting the match, obviously, or coming on at some point instead of playing Stephen Davis for 96 minutes in that heat. But no Stephen Kelly, and Davis was played the entire freaking match, 4 days, 3 days, whatever it is, before an Old Firm. Interesting decision, but suppose when you're Stephen Davis and you're able to do what you do, you give him a chance to do anything. But speaking of chances, we started the game off pretty brightly, because just a couple of minutes into the game, Barisic stepped up with a wonderful corner and actually found Connor Golton at the back post, nearly a carbon copy of Ross County, but unfortunately the big man can't get that big noggin on target. But that was a warning sign, and just a minute later, Morelos and Aribo is combining so damn well. It goes out to Patterson, the cross is well cut out, but it does eventually fall to our boy Alfredo Morelos, who strikes from range and tests the goalkeeper. So after 4 minutes in this game, I've seen an early corner, I'm seeing a shot from range, I'm thinking, yes people, this is the game we knew it could be. Then San just happened like that, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know if it was a Nick's attack, which was obviously for a Alashkert in the 7th minute, where Nathan Patterson makes a big mistake defensively. That allows the boy to kind of run down the left hand side. But thank you, Philip Hollander, that is why you are the commander, Hollander, because it's a wonderful bending ball beyond Barisic, but who reads the game better than anyone? Hollander, and he's in the right place at the right time to stop them from having a chance one-on-one versus Robby McCrorie just 7 minutes into this game. But that chance really got Alashkert back on it, and that's when our passes started to break down and started to lose a lot of its zip, because the next opportunity was actually all down to the fault of Alashkert playing that very aggressive way at the back with a trying to zip passes between their centre halves, their full-backs and their keeper. It's actually well intercepted by Scotty Arfield, who gets the ball. He finds Alfredo Morelos. He's 1v1 versus the keeper. He must put this in and just kill the game right frickin' there, but he just spoons it over with a horrendous, and I mean a horrendous finish. But you know, that's Alfredo Morelos. We've came to expect that. He's not a clinical finisher. He requires multiple opportunities per game. He's basically the football equivalent for the Bass brother for Mighty Ducks, who requires 5 attempts to get it in. Do you remember him, ladies and gentlemen? Well, that is Alfredo Morelos in football in terms. It's just unfortunate in this game of football, he only had 4 shots. We didn't get that goal. Hopefully that means it's coming on Sunday. But we're not here to talk about Sunday, so let's jump 10 more minutes into the game where again it was breaking down. It wasn't the prettiest, but who usually brings a bit of sauce? Who usually brings a bit of pretty to the game? That is none other than our boy Hadji, who has a wonderful weighted back heel pass that finds our boy Nathan Patterson, and Patterson gets forward, whips in a gorgeous ball to Joe Aribo, whose first touch is great. His second touch is even better as he curls it. It looks like it's in all of the way, but full credit to their goalkeeper. It is an absolute wonder save to not only get there, but push on to the post, and he gets a wee bit lucky with where it bounces. But that move was probably the best that came in terms of all-around play from Rangers, and it was equalled by a fantastic save by the Alashkert goalie. And if you're keeping count, ladies and gentlemen, that's 3 major opportunities for Rangers, and it could genuinely be 3-0 by now. But again, we skip another 10 minutes into the future, where a couple of times Barisic was really caught out at the left-back spot. Thankfully, the drink break, the sponsor break came at the right time, but we eventually came out for that, and then Scotty Arfield produces a wee bit of magic in the 30th minute when it's a wonderful weighted through ball. Alfredo Morelos, he's gone. He's clear. He does nearly a carbon copy of what he done last week. Slows it down, but instead of this time shooting, he actually does a very clever fake shot. He puts the goalkeeper down. He's now can either hit it this way. The goalie is doing like this, or just go round him, jog, walk by the goalkeeper and tap it in. But he does neither of those things, ladies and gentlemen, because after he puts the goalie on the ground, he then just shoots it directly at him. And I'm still confused. And listen, I absolutely love our boy Alfredo Morelos. He is the maverick. He is the madman. And he did do some impressive things building up. And I know he brings a lot more to the game than just scoring goals. But there is a reason I've sat here for a very long time, especially recently since Kamal Roof came into the building. And I always say, if we are getting that 1 or 2 chances a game to fall to anybody, I want it to fall to Roof, because I feel like if we were able to have him, we're scoring goals left, right and centre here with the amount of clear-cut opportunities we've created, not only in these 2 legs, but you think back to Malmo as well. When we were 1-0 up going into the second half, the ball bounced after the goalie spilled it. Morelos ballooned it air the bar, and then 3 minutes later, Kolak has 1 shot, scores, has another one, scores. It's the difference in a clinical finisher and a very good all-around, which Morelos is, and I absolutely love that about him. But we've really missed the clinical edge of the likes of Kamal Roof. But I didn't shout at me, ladies and gentlemen. I still love the boy. I'm just explaining from a football in terms how I feel about the 2 types of players and who's the more clinical. But after that massive opportunity and massive miss from Morelos, the game did sort of dull away again, right to the 40th minute, where Alashkert really just beat themselves, in my opinion, because they were still in this game, because we were progressively getting worse with every minute that went on the clock. But in the 40th minute, Santos comes in. It's a bouncing ball. He's getting nowhere near this. He's never ever getting to this. Robby McCrorie reads it well. He comes out, he gets the ball, and then that boy, for whatever reason, what's up in that boy's noggin, he decides just to kick Robby McCrorie directly into the head. Now, I didn't quite see it at first. I thought it was just one of those ones where the ball was bouncing. But then I saw the replay. There's a good 5 seconds when McCrorie's got the ball to when that boy's actually kicking him in the head. It's cynical, it's daft, it's stupid. And for me, he gets the second yellow card, which does send him off the park. But for me, that is a dangerous act, and it should have been a straight red. And I'm sure there should be some action taken after that, because thankfully Big Robbie was alright. But that right there has no place in the old football. But right back to the old football. You had a Connor Goldson long-range effort in the 42nd minute for 38 yards out. Kind of close, actually, than you may originally think. And in the last bit of football from the first half was a gorgeous 1-2. Once again, Aribo is heavily involved in this. Morelos is involved in this. Scotty Arfield's involved in this. And Morelos does so well with turnies, man. And that's why you play a Morelos. Despite him not being clinical, he just brings so much out of this Rangers team. And this is all down to his strength and awareness, because he turns his man, he slips the ball to Scotty Arfield, he's got a free shot on goal, but he hits it really, really tamely, straight, directly at the goalkeeper. Yes, I know he got a wee bit of a touch and everything like that with a slide challenge before that, but you're expecting at least some power or any direction. And where we just talked about the 48th minute in terms of the first half, we have to go to the second half's 48th minute, ladies and gentlemen, because somehow the 10 men of Alashkert gets down free of the left-hand side. Scotty Arfield can't get close enough. It's a good ball into the mixer, and Barisic just loses the flight of the ball, forgets there's a guy behind him, and there's a free header at the back post that is mercifully hit over. I think I've used mercifully in the last minute, but honestly, that's how I was feeling. And I honestly, thinking back to the second half and breaking it down, I don't want to talk about all the half opportunities and half maybes, because I'll just make us all sad with how bad the game actually is, because I've got frustrations about the first half, but at least we carved open and we created 3 or 4 major opportunities. In the second half, I'll be honest, it just wasn't good enough. And that's why we're going to jump all the way to the 72nd minute, where not much happened apart from a long-range effort from Alashkert that was well held by Robby McCrorie, but there was no quality until the 72nd minute of this game, where Nathan Patterson whips in a wonderful cross that finds Morelos at the back post. He can either header it or try to bring it down, but he tries to do a kind of left-footed volley and balloons it air the bar, which after that point I just sat back and went, we're not scoring today, it's one of the games. And just when I was sitting back and getting in that mindset, the producer, the man who was in charge of keeping this game on the air in terms of BBC Scotland, actually just changed the channel. That's how bad this game was. The producer changed the channel and we lost coverage for 3 minutes, and this boy right here stole the show. Genuinely, if you were to ask me who the man of the match was from that 96 minutes, that guy's up there with his 4 minutes cameo, because he was as entertaining than anybody else. But aye, let's pull it back to the football, because there was a couple of half opportunities for Alashkert to put the ball in the mixer, but Hollander was very good. There was a Stephen Davis mistake late on in the game, which Connor Goldson read perfectly with a slide challenge to stop that doing. But the last thing we need to talk about from a footballing perspective was Joe Rebo rattling the bar in the 95th minute when he gets it on that left-hand side. It's a good shot. I think there's a deflection in it. Goes over the goalkeeper, but with the way things were going, especially in that match, there was no way it was going in, and that was the last opportunity in the game, ladies and gentlemen. It was a tough watch, and it's very disappointing, and there's frustrations all in there. But again, maybe when the dust settles, maybe when we go ahead, maybe when we look at Monday morning after a fantastic result on Sunday, we can understand what that game actually was, and that was carefully managed, making sure people didn't pick up injuries, didn't pick up this. We had something in their tanks for Sundays. Maybe we'll come back and we'll look at this game and say, you know what, we'll take that given what happened at the weekend. And that's the way I'm going to look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Job done, we get through, we earn the money, and we keep people fit and ready for Sunday. And I'm sorry I can't be overly optimistic, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm never going to just sit here and BS you and lie you. That you scunnered me a little bit today. I was very disappointed. But what are you thinking? Let me know down there in the old comment section below. Share your thoughts and opinions on the game and some of the performances that you saw. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've been Siege Over 92. Rocky's actually downstairs today chilling, but take care of yourselves. All the best and bye-bye.